What's up, guys? I'm your host, Steven, hashtag for the Acre Addicts. Today I want to talk about Sam Ehlinger's comeback win with the Colts, and also I want to dive into a little bit of fall camp and Steve Sarkeesian interviews. So, remember to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. That's what helps our channel growing. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and only you can get us there. And remember, at 1,000 subscribers, we will be raffling off Jacoby Jones's game day glove, which will be right behind my head, to one of you out there. So remember, smash that subscribe button. Let's get this started. Sam Ehlinger's comeback win with the Colts. Man, he did his thing. The boys showed out. I told everybody in several of my videos in the past that he was going to be the starter coming into this season. Jason Easton still got that battling with him for the starting position, but Carson Wentz is out. So don't even mention that man's name in my presence again, because I told y'all, and I told y'all, and I told y'all, the man was just injury prone from the time he got to Philadelphia. Anyway, he gets his first NFL touchdown, Sammy does, yesterday, and that's exciting because he goes for the 2-point conversion and shows us Bam Bam Sam, just like we saw in college, and that's what I think. You know, we're not necessarily wanting to see his entire career because, you know, it shouldn't have to have Sam being a leading rusher while he is on the field. But it's still nice to see that he's keeping some of those old traits with him. You know, that same skill sets that made him successful and a legend at Texas, broke many records and held second place on many records under Colt McCoy. Yeah, I think given through week 4, we should have for sure no ifs, ands, or buts whether Sam or Easton are starting. And honestly, I don't think Easton's going to be able to keep up. I don't think he has the same skill set, but we'll have to see. So let's get into it. I want to talk about Joseph Ossai. Joseph Ossai got his first career sack on Tom Brady today, and I think that was very interesting. Who better to have your first career sack on than the GOAT himself, you know? And just like they had mentioned on Instagram, you don't welcome Joseph Ossai to the NFL, he welcomes himself. But back to Sam again, man. I think give week 4 he's starting, and I don't think the Colts are going to be a solid playoff contender this year. I just don't think he has enough around him. They may make the playoffs, wild card appearance. I'm looking forward more towards the future. Give it 2-3 seasons, and Sam is going to be in the right direction. I think his team leadership, ball handling skills, deep ball is already getting better, as we saw yesterday. He threw like a 50-yard pass, and it was beautiful, on the money. And I don't think he's going to have any problems staying the starter there. I think the Colts will adapt that as his team, and it was nice to hear his response on his brother, by the way. R.I.P. Jake Ehlinger, by the way. And I just think that the fact that, you know, he was so humble and yet so hungry as a man, it shows a lot. He's solid. Man's been through a lot this season, and to come out and do exactly what I told everyone he was going to do that's Sam for you. Anyway, moving on to Steve Sarkeesian and the questions on this offense. Man, we have some serious questions because our first scrimmage, which, you know, you don't want to think too much on, is the beginning of scrimmage, but we got our receivers not showing out to full capacity. The only thing on offense that's looking solid right now is our tight end room, with Tavian Sanders, Brewers, Wade Wiley. All them boys are just, you know, balling right now, and our O-line is still under question, but it's hard to read our O-line when you're going against such a solid defensive line, but still, you got to get the job done. And Steve Sarkeesian mentioned on both quarterbacks that neither one of them were, you know, how he said quarterback, they're not national championship ready coming into this season. You know, he's had Matt Castle, Steve Carr. I don't know why I said Steve Carr. He had why can't I think of the man's name? He played for New York. Irrelevant. Mark Sanchez. That's the name. Mark Sanchez, Matt Leinart, Matt Ryan, Mac Jones, Tua, Jalen Hurts. I mean, he knows what a national championship ready quarterback is, and that whole scrimmage, he made sure to put them in uncomfortable and unfamiliar situations to where they would have to act strictly on instincts, and they did not do good. And on the cool, let me check right here because I believe Casey actually did have an interception. So I'm not sure where we're going there. I think something needs to get picked up or we're going to be in trouble. Jay Witt, I think, is going to be exciting to watch, seeing that he's healthy, and I feel like he's going to be a big matchup, a good mixed match for these corners that we're going to see coming in the Big 12. But until we see it, it's unproven. We have Omir, Xavier, Joshua Moore. Still a big question though with Omir and Moore still having been dinged up and not fully recovered. Not being at 100% is critical. And it is in one spot on the offense that I'm worried about. That's the main position for sure. Is the receiver. There's a lot of unproven talent other than Moore, and I feel that if the receivers don't, stay consistent in these first 3 weeks of non-conference, I feel that our running backs are not going to be able to show what we know they can do. It's going to be just too much pressure. We're going to see this all-running team, and that's just not going to cut it in Big 12. It just hasn't for the last 23 years since Ricky Williams left. It's just not how it works anymore. And I like the hit Keandre Coburn laid on Bijan Robbins. Put that boy right on his behind. Like, that was a nice hit. That gets me pumped for our D-line. I hear nothing but good things about Keandre Coburn, high draft status. I believe he was a 4-star coming in, maybe a 5-star, but I believe 4-star. He's going to be something to watch this year. I mean, our entire line is there. There's not a weak spot, I believe, that we have on defense. We have question marks, but no weak spots for sure. And I think, like he said, he made a good point in his interview. He said if you touch Bijan, you need to put him on his butt. You make sure he is down. Do not, assume. Because when you assume, you think that you got him off a hard hit, he just bounced off and he's 20 yards down the field. And it can happen in the blink of an eye. With the tight end room being so stacked, I want to get on to this right here. With tight end room being so stacked, does Sanders move to the wide receiver slot position? Man, his big body, he was a guaranteed catcher, is a mismatch for these smaller, more inexperienced corners that we're going to be facing, especially in that position, because your main corners are usually going to be on your X receivers. So, just depending, of course, but I see it's worth a try. It's worth testing out at least, and maybe not the first Louisiana game or Arkansas, but maybe test it out against Rice. Somewhere it's going to be a walk-on, because I don't think Louisiana or Arkansas is going to be a walk-on at all. Moving on, Shark said in his interview, of course, that both quarterbacks are not doing what they should. I think this is bad for Casey Thompson. I think Casey Thompson needs to be worried, because you should be the clear starter by this time, in my opinion, above Hudson Card if you are the guy. But to show that Hudson is competing with you and doing that, hats off to Hudson Card, not leaving any credit away from that man, but from the bowl game hype and your recruiting status, you were I believe a high 4 or low 5-star also, coming from Oklahoma in high school. This shouldn't be battle like it has been for you. That leads me to question if Hudson Card is not going to be the starter this year, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be critical because this is the last year. We can't be sitting here playing with quarterbacks for 3-4 weeks because we leave the Big 12 if we don't put up and shut up and win this conference. Oklahoma's going to walk out of here with 6 conference championships back to back to back to back to back to back, and leaving the SEC. Moving to the SEC, leaving the Big 12 with all bragging rights, which is not what any Texas fans want. That's bad juju on us going into the SEC. I would like for us to have that knockoff win to Oklahoma. It would definitely have us as a program more solidified going into the SEC. And speaking on that, I want to talk about our defense a little bit more. Ojomo has been on fire. Henry actually called me up last night and mentioned this to me about him having 3 sacks in a scrimmage game against Hudson and Card. Hudson and Hudson and Casey. So I want to see what this is going to be like with Ojomo. He's got Alfred Collins pushing him for that starting position, and I think, being more consistent than Alfred Collins, doesn't matter what kind of athleticism Collins has with that one-hand catching ability as a defensive end, showing out in the bowl game. But, one fire play doesn't match up to consistency in my eyes, or I think any coach's eyes. And I feel Texas right now is recruiting like an SEC team. I think they're getting ready for a Big 12 championship win. I think he is getting ready for the SEC now. I think every game we're going to play this season is going to be SEC prepped, SEC prepared, SEC viewed, if you get what I mean, catch my drift. And for our overall record, man, I still have us strongly going at 11-1. At the worst, I see us at 9-3. I don't think you're going to see a 7-5 Tom Herman season. I don't see that happen. You're not going to see a Charlie Strong season. I don't see that is even possible with the roster we have. But yeah, I feel this is going to be a good season, y'all. I want y'all to stay positive on it, and man, just trust me on this. I'm telling you, Big 12 championship win, we're going to be dominant in the SEC. We don't make this conference game, win it, anything, just don't make it, period. And we are, I feel, in trouble. We go 9-3, no conference appearance, and we go to the SEC next season. I think that they're not even going to take it serious. They'll take Oklahoma serious, no doubt about that. But Texas, I think we're going to have to earn our way regardless, but it's just going to be a much, much tougher path if we have to come in without even a conference appearance since 2018. And since the conference win since 2009. And so, yeah, that's my thoughts on that, for sure. If y'all would ask me who I think the starting quarterback coming into the season is going to be, as of right now, Hudson Card. Love my boy Casey Thompson, but I'm just not that confident that he's going to be the man to step up. I feel maybe he just had a really good game against Colorado. Maybe Colorado was just that bad. I'm not sure. But I'm not the coach. So we will see, what is it, September 4th? Yes, September 4th, we're going to find out. They walk on that field against Louisiana, who is going to be the starter. Now, if you are still on here and still watching, please hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell, because that's how you know to get notified of videos coming out and being dropped. I'll always be bringing in great content for Texas football and any other college sports. That's what we do. You know, we're in it for y'all. We're in it to keep everybody well informed and let everybody know what's going on in this world, especially in crazy COVID aftermath time, which really it's not even aftermath because we're still in the midst of COVID. But any final thoughts that y'all have, y'all can comment below. I would love to get some comments on y'all. I do want to mention again that September 18th, me and Henry Gatlin will be in attendance at the Tower in Austin. Early, probably 9 a.m. for a video to drop. We'll be live NDKR pregame, halftime, postgame. So tune into those videos, and then after the game, on our ride home, we will be dropping a video at our local Buc-ee's in Austin. So tune into that also. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. One of you will win Jacoby Jones's glove behind my head. And my final thoughts on this season is I want to add into my favorite player on the roster, BJ Foster, of course. Coach said he's doing solid things on the field. He's not being mentioned as the star premier guy, but I feel he's just, he's more of a on the field type of player than practice. He's not I'm just going to say he's a knucklehead, flat out. He's a knucklehead, but that's why I like him. That's why one of the reasons why he's my favorite players. I see him having 60, 70 tackles this year. I see him breaking out with 4 or 5 picks, 2 or 3 sacks, a fumble forced, maybe a fumble recovery. I see him being a Thorpe finalist, second, first round pick if everything goes his way. Pray it does. I would love to see that man thrive. Can't wait to see him at the next level because I know he will make it along with so many other of our players, Overshawn, and the list goes on and on. Of course, Jacoby Jones, cannot forget about you. You are the man. Thank you for that. I will also be blessing someone else with this glove that I was blessed with by him myself. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. And we love you. Hook 'em.